What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 17 of my Modern Warfare 3 Chronicles. So, today I'm a little behind on this map pack, which I'm pretty sure is DLC drop number 3. And this map pack actually had a lot, the DLC drop. It actually included a new game type and map specifically for that game type, which I'll be talking about at a later time. But as far as the maps go, I mean, five drops in one, DLC is quite a few maps. But when we get down to it, you'll see that it's really not full-size maps, if you know what I mean. But it's still probably the biggest drop that Call of Duty has ever seen. So the map we're looking at right now is Oasis, and I think out of the DLC drop, Oasis is my favorite. It's the only real full-size map, but it probably is worked its way into my third favorite map out of all the maps that are in Call of Duty in general. I've already expressed my feelings that I don't particularly like a lot of the maps that ship with the game, but ones like Bootleg, Liberation, Overwatch, those are good maps. I really do like those maps. And this kind of this plays really well for domination. Even in the description for this map, it enlists domination as like its main game type for this map, and domination does play very well on here. And be it that domination is my favorite game type, obviously that would go hand in hand. Other than this map looking great and having, I really like how it has a lot of different ways to go through the map. It's not like left, center, or right. You've got more than one way to get around the map, and that makes things interesting. It adds a layer of strategy to the game, which is something Call of Duty doesn't always have. Sometimes it's a running gun game. But this probably isn't. Liberation is still probably my favorite map out of all the drops, but I think this would be my second favorite map because, like I said, it plays really well for domination, has a lot of places to be, it plays good for team deathmatch, and has a lot of good callouts. It looks beautiful. It looks great. But I think this map is probably the best domination map in the game, just the way it's set up, like the objectives where they are B, A. I think A is back there or C, and then B is right in the middle here to the left, and it's in a very good spot. There's, like I said, multiple ways to get around the map, so you don't just have to tackle it one way. It all works out very well. Everything is very balanced, in my opinion. It's not like one of those maps where it's like, oh man, I spawned on this side, the other team got, the uphill spawn. Like, why do I have to fight up top? You know what I mean? When in an objective game. It doesn't really. I mean, any map you can camp on, but this map kind of is a little bit difficult to camp on because it's got corners, but most of them are very wide open, and I think the maps play out very even. That's probably my biggest thing about it. Sometimes it's a risk. I mean, sometimes it takes a risk to not make a map even, and that can make the map really good or really bad. But this map, it's kind of like they played safe, they played good, and I really like it. And it's definitely my favorite map out of DLC drop number 3, which I think this is. I'm pretty sure this is DLC drop number 3. But yeah, this is probably my favorite map out of the drop, and the only real map that's a full-sized map. Now, what I'm talking about is they released, and this isn't really new to Call of Duty, but they're trying to push it like it's new, I guess, is Face Off, which is 1v1, 2v2, or 3v3. But they used to have like 1v1s and 2v2s before. I could have sworn it back in like cage matches, 1v1s. So the next map we're looking at here is Lookout, and out of all of the face-off maps, which are considerably smaller, because you think, well, if it's going to be a game of 1v1, 2v2, or 3v3, we don't want to play in a gigantic map where people can camp and hide, and it's all close quarters on these maps. And this would be my favorite of the face-off maps, which are all close quarters. The other ones are pretty good too, but this is my personal favorite. It kind of reminds me of Afghan, I think, was the map from Modern Warfare 2, which I did like that map, even though it was a little unbalanced, but it kind of reminds me of that. And one thing, it's a small insignificant thing, but I really like that this room I'm in right here actually has machine guns that you can get on and shoot out there. You can't get out to that, that's like outside of the map, but maybe you could like point it in the air and maybe hit a gunship coming in, or a AC-1, not, like a drop or something, I'm not sure. Otherwise, it's just a nice touch. I really like it. It's little things with me, and this map kind of plays toward, this map plays really good for team deathmatch and kill confirmed. I don't think objectives would work so good on it. Some of the other maps are a little bit more asymmetrical, but this map is, it's okay. It's definitely my favorite, but it's only okay for other game types. And this is one of my favorite things about the map. Kind of reminds me of, what was that map from Modern Warfare 2 where you'd walk too far out and the radiation would kill you? Like that right there is kind of funny. Kind of reminds me of Sand Trap, I think it was in Halo 3, where you walk too far out and the mines would kill you. It's just a little touches. It's nice to see that they actually put a little bit of work into these maps, and they're not just thrown out there for money, you know what I mean? But yeah, the whole, right here, like you can kind of look at, this is the entire map right here. I'm not even kidding. The map is very small, probably one of the smallest maps you'll ever see in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I don't think anything can beat Box, was it? Or, the one with the crates. It was like the smallest map in the world in Call of Duty 4. That was one of the worst maps, but it's like you just can't take it seriously. And this is probably the smallest map out of all of them for the drop in this, but I really like it. Like I said, it plays good for kill confirmed and team deathmatch. Objectives, I don't think I've even gotten an objective on this map, but I don't think it would play well anyways. But I've actually had an extensive amount of time to play these maps now, so I can give you this is probably my favorite face-off map, and it plays very, very, like, you kill someone, they respawn, and, you know, you don't have time to run. Like, they spawn, like, a building away from you, and they have to run around the corner, and they know exactly where you are. So, some people might think that's, you know, like, ridiculously cheap, like, oh, come on, that's stupid, but it's kind of like it makes it more intense, and that's what I think the 2v2s, the 1v1s, and the 3v3s are meant to be about. And I like it. I do like how they added to the game. I know they were going to add more game time and stuff, and I wasn't sure how they were going to do that. But this is good. I like what they did. It's not insanely like, oh, game changing. Like, I really like Drop Zone when that came out, but this is a good add-on. It really makes it more complex when you're playing with like two guys, and it's like, well, man, I don't want to play with other teammates. I always felt like there was something more competitive about like Wingman in Gears of War or team doubles in Halo. If anyone's played that, it's somehow more competitive when it's just you and your best buddy fighting two other guys online. You know what I mean? So that does it for this episode. In the next episode, I'll be reviewing the other face-off maps, and I'll be giving my thoughts and review on those maps as well. And until then, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you later.